Hi, welcome to Briones Pickleball. My name is Jordan Briones, and if you just started this game, today we're going to go over the 5 most important shots that you're going to need to learn. Now, let's jump right in. Alright, so if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and subscribe and hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a new video. In today's video, we're going to go over the 5 most important shots that you're going to use and that you need to learn, especially if you are just starting out playing this game of pickleball. Alright, so the very first shot that we're going to talk about is the dink. Yes, dink, if you've never heard it before, it's D-I-N-K. It's when you softly hit the ball over the net, and usually you would want that ball to descend down and drop down into your opponent's non-volley zone. Okay, so this shot is a shot that is played very often in lower levels all the way up to the highest levels. So this is a very fundamental shot that you're going to have to learn, especially when you start out. All right, so what we're going to start off with here is I'm at the non-volley zone line. Okay, this is called the non-volley zone line here, and my wife Katrina is on the other side of the net, close to her non-volley zone line. And when we're talking about dinking, we're trying to hit it softly over the net, and we want this ball descending down in that non-volley zone or towards that non-volley zone. So strategically, what we're trying to do is force a low ball for our opponent. Okay, so we're going to just dink back and forth here, and you can see is if I hit it softly over the net like that, the ball lands in front of her and it's forcing her to hit up every time. Now, one reason why this is good is because she's contacting the ball really low, so she's going to have to hit up on it, right? So it's harder for her to attack. And also, what it could do is it could maybe force her to hit it into the net or cause her to pop it up. All right, so that's dinking there. And right now, let's go into the technique real quick. Couple key things here is for your dink, I see lots of players taking their paddle all the way back, right? When the ball's coming over, they take it back and then they're getting ready to swing. Okay, so what we want to make sure we do is that our dinks should be short and compact. So what does that mean? I want to get in my ready position here, and then as soon as that ball comes over, if it's going to come to my forehand side, I'm just going to drop my paddle down just like this. So I'm not taking it behind my leg. Right here, and I'm just going to lift up from my shoulder here to here. Then I go back to my ready position. If it's on this backhand side, drop my paddle down and I'm lifting. Okay, I got to make sure I'm lifting from my shoulder. Okay, I'm not using my wrist, I'm actually using my shoulder. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so backhand, lift it up. Okay, forehand, lift, trying to keep my eye on the ball when I contact it. Okay, so it's really important to try to get some good clean contacts here, and make sure that you have some good margin over the net. All right, our dinks don't have to land or they don't have to travel 1 inch above the net. Okay, I want some good margin, good height, and my main goal and main focus, remember, is I'm dinking the ball, trying to get that ball to drop down in front of my opponent. All right, so I'm going to do a couple more. Notice how my stroke and my paddle is not coming behind my legs, right? So all I'm doing is just lifting up, nice and easy, just lifting up, getting back to ready position each time. Okay, if I have to take a backhand, just like that. Okay, so, again, just to remind you, don't take your paddle back all the way like this, and then just have a nice, short, compact follow through from here to here. So that is the dink. It's a very fundamental shot to learn. And the last tip I have for you, the bonus tip here, is that you're not having a death grip. You're not holding it really tight. So when we're dinking here, we want to have a grip pressure of a 3 to a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. If 10 is the tightest, we want to have a fairly light grip so that we can control and feel the ball. All right, so the next shot that we're going to jump into that you must learn if you're just starting out with this game of pickleball is the volley. It's very, very important. We're going to get a lot of volleys in this game because a lot of the times we're up at the net, up at this non-volley zone line. So for the volley, really simply, a volley is when you hit the ball out of the air before it bounces, okay? But what we're going to be talking about right now is just a regular or traditional push or punch volley, okay? So I'm in my ready position here, and then we are going to actually be falling back and forth. And what you're going to notice is not huge swings or a huge backswing or take back. I'm just going to go right here. So I'm going to, move my paddle face in a way where it's pointing to my target, and then I'm just going to push from my shoulder. And what you're going to notice in this game is really a backhand dominated sport. So what I mean by that is you're going to be taking a lot of backhand volleys, because all the balls that are traveling towards your torso area or your body area, it's a lot easier to take that as a backhand. So what we're going to do, Katrina and I here, is we're going to volley back and forth, nice and easy, and we are just going to push from our shoulder and volley this ball out in front. Okay, here we go. Okay, so nice and easy. All we're doing is just pushing and contacting the ball out in front and trying to keep it, or trying to aim right for each other's chest area or waist area. Okay, so what you'll notice is, we're not hitting super hard right now. We just want to control the ball. And if you're just starting out, this is going to be difficult, okay? Because, your control is not there yet. But you want to work up to where you can push it out like this. So there's many things you can do. You can practice against a wall, or simply you can start like this. I can feed her the ball here. She's going to volley it, and then I'm just going to try to catch it, right? Okay, so you can do this. Right, and then you can feed each other and work on that. But we definitely wanted to get to a point where we could control it. Remember, when we're hitting volleys back and forth, we're just aiming right for our torso area or waist area here, and just work on this backhand volley. Now, you're for sure going to have to learn how to hit forehands for sure, but right now this is just a drill practicing on that backhand volley. All right, so now let's jump into the third shot that you're definitely going to need to learn when you're just starting out in pickleball, and that is the serve. The serve starts the point, but also I want to start you off at least with the basics, learning the correct technique, the basics of the serve, so that you can build on that and improve it over time. Okay, so for the serve, I always recommend that we start in, more of a closed stance or semi-open stance. So what that means is, you can see this camera, if my feet are parallel to the line, this is an open stance, and some players will serve this way. But I recommend being in more of a closed stance, okay? Or semi-open is like a little bit like this. So the reason why I want to be like this is because I'm gonna, get in this position, and as I swing, I'm gonna rotate, right? I'm rotating my hips and my body as I hit the ball and swing, okay? But before that, and I'm just gonna talk about technique really quick, okay? So I'm gonna hold the ball here, and you know what? There's different ways to serve. You can hit it out of the air, or you can do something what's called a drop serve, where you drop the ball, it bounces on the floor, and then you hit it. So when players are just starting out, I kind of like to start them with a drop serve, because it's a good way that you can practice your technique, okay? So I get in my good stance here, and I want you, just when you're starting out, to just place your paddle, around knee to hip height over here. Okay, so I'm a right-handed player. I have it just out here, my paddle here, and I'm gonna have my hand to drop the ball out here. So this is my setup. Okay, I'm in a nice low stance. My knees are bent. Okay, and I'm balanced here. And then I'm gonna drop it, and then I'm gonna swing up towards my left shoulder. Okay. So it's going to be from here, swing up to here, okay? If you're just starting out, don't go out there and try to hit as hard as you can. Remember, technique is important, so we just want to dial that in first. Okay, so again, I'm going to start here, swing to my left shoulder, and I'm just going to drop it here. Okay, all right. Okay, all right, good return there. Okay. So that was the drop serve, but you can do the same thing out of the air. So I'm going to do it out of the air, and my technique does not change. It's the same exact thing. Okay. 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 All right, so you either do a drop serve or just a traditional serve where you hit it out of the air. and then swing up towards your left shoulder if you're a righty, towards your right shoulder if you're a lefty. All right, so now the fourth shot that you're going to need to learn how to hit is the return. Now, the return is very important because our opponents will be serving to us and we got to get that ball back into play, and our goal is at least to get that ball deep into the court, because after the return we're going to want to, make our way up to the non-volley zone line to meet our partner up there. So on the return, I'm just going to give you a couple key tips here. So let's say Katrina is over there on the outside of the court serving to me here, so I'm going to be in a good ready position here. And right now, for the forehand, let's just say a forehand return. Okay, so the serve is going to come in and then I see it coming to my forehand. What I want to do is I want to get ready and get set up and step in actually with my left foot, so that when I hit my return, okay, it's a low to high shot. Okay, when I hit my return, I can have my momentum moving forward. Okay, so that's the most important thing on the return that you want to try to do. Now, one thing I do want to mention is, if players are serving really, really deep, it's going to be tough if you're standing right on the baseline like this. They're serving really hard and really deep. Give yourself some room. Okay, let the ball bounce, let it slow down a little bit. Then we step in, hit the shot, low to high motion. We hit the shot and then we try to make our way to the non-volley zone line. The backhand side is going to look kind of similar here, but if I see on my backhand, here we go, I'm stepping in with my right leg now, so I could hit my return, okay, low to high motion like this, and then I can head to the line. Now, these shots can definitely be broken down, but right now I just want you to really be mindful of where your stance is. Okay, choose if you're gonna hit it with the forehand or backhand early. Okay, if I see it come over here, I'm gonna get ready, step in with my left foot right here, and then hit it low to high motion, and then I'm coming in. If it's gonna come in my backhand here, boom, I see it on my backhand, I might have to adjust my feet a little bit, then step with my right foot and then hit that ball as I have my momentum moving forward. Okay, here we go. So Katrina's gonna hit a few serves here. All right. Okay, now let's do some backhands. Backhand returns here. Okay. All right, so the return, something that you're definitely gonna have to practice, keep working on, but make sure that we do our best to have our momentum moving in and forward, because that's where we want to be going after a shot, and that we hit that ball nice and out in front. Okay, I'm not hitting it super hard. Slow down your swing in the beginning when you're learning, because our main goal is just to get that ball deep. All right, so slow your swing down, nice stroke, low to high motion. If you're on the back end here, just like that, and then those are some good tips I think that are going to help you start out hitting good returns. All right, so now let's jump into the fifth and final shot that you're going to need to learn and develop, especially when you're just starting this game, and that is the ground stroke. Okay, what is a ground stroke? It's a ball that you're letting bounce, and typically you're closer to the baseline here or behind the baseline, and that you're hitting back usually with some good pace. Hitting ground strokes is really, really important in this game, because there's several times in a point where you're definitely going to need it. So for this exercise here, I have my wife on the other side, and we're just using one half the court, and we're just going to be hitting ground strokes back and forth. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to just show you the basics of the ground stroke. Okay, it is a pretty complex shot, but if you're just starting out, I just want you to have just at least a good foundation what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, and in this video we're going to specifically just focus on the forehand ground stroke. First, I'm going to talk about the setup. Okay, so just like the serve, we want to hit these ground strokes in a closed stance. Okay, we want to be in this position, okay, because this is the position we want to be hitting the ball, rotating and swinging up towards our left shoulder. So that's what we're gonna focus on, and we're gonna show you a few ground strokes here. Okay, so those are a couple of good forehand ground strokes right there. Notice how when that ball is coming back over, I'm trying to adjust my feet so that I could get in good position to hit my next ball. All right, so as that ball is coming, right, I'm trying to position my feet, then I'm slightly turning, right, a little bit, trying to get in this position, and then here, then I move and I step in, you know, with my weight on my front leg, my left leg, and then I swing through up towards my left shoulder. All right, so I know that was just the forehand ground stroke, but it's a good start, and you're going to be hitting a lot of forehand ground strokes, especially if you're just starting out in this game. All right, so that concludes this video. Those are the 5 very, very important shots that you're going to need to learn when you start out with this game. It's a really fun game. There's lots to learn, so don't be too hard on yourself. And as you keep learning, you're gonna have more fun and improve in a lot of different ways. On this channel, we give good quality instruction. We talk technique, strategy, and all things pickleball. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And also, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. For a free pickleball workout routine that is guaranteed to level up your game, head on to brionespickleball.com/workout. Before you head on over there, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel and hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a new video. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold of me and won't let go. I've been sleeping, caught me off my guard, 'cause you're in my space and